Welcome to The Explainer. So today we are tackling a universal struggle. Literally everyone listening to this has been there at least once. You know the exact feeling I'm talking about, right? You read an amazing book, maybe listen to an inspiring interview, and you get totally, completely fired up about a new self-improvement idea. You tell yourself, okay, this time it's actually going to be different. I'm finally going to change. But then, fast forward, maybe 3 or 4 days, and all that immense motivation has just completely vanished into thin air, leaving you right back at square one. Okay, let's dive into this. Because, does this cycle sound incredibly familiar to you? You go out, you drop serious cash on that fancy new treadmill on a Sunday. You run on it super proudly on Monday. Maybe you squeeze in a jog on Tuesday. And by Thursday, by day 5, it's basically magically transformed into a very expensive clothes hanger. Right? So why do we always seem to quit after just a few days? Why is it so incredibly hard to make good behaviors actually stick around long enough to literally change our lives? Well, here's our roadmap for today's explainer to fix exactly that. We're going to start with the willpower myth. Then we'll walk through the core framework. Law 1, make it obvious. Law 2, make it attractive. Law 3, make it easy. And Law 4, make it satisfying. Finally, we'll wrap the whole thing up with your 2-minute habit. Let's get right into this pragmatic, completely science-backed system so we can finally make those habits stick. Starting off with Section 1, the willpower myth. Stop quitting. Look, if you've been beating yourself up over past failures to stick to a routine, I really want you to let go of that guilt right now. Just drop it. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the contrast. See, our biggest pitfall is relying heavily on willpower. It's kind of like trying to push a massive boulder of sudden change up a steep hill all at once. We trick ourselves into thinking we have to become a completely new person literally overnight. It's exhausting, and spoiler alert, it just doesn't work. The actual science-backed solution, it's all about reprogramming the brain via micro-steps. Instead of an overnight overhaul, we act way smarter. We use tiny, practically invisible changes, just taking it one small stair at a time, and those eventually compound to completely rewire how our brain operates on a daily basis. So to pull off this mental reprogramming successfully, we use a specific, structured method. It all boils down to 4 fundamental rules. Step 1, make it obvious. Step 2, make it attractive. Step 3, make it easy. And Step 4, make it satisfying. These 4 steps form our absolute ultimate playbook for long-term success. So next time a habit isn't sticking, you don't need to question your character. You just need to look at these 4 steps. I can almost guarantee the habit is failing at one of these criteria. Let's move to Section 2 and see how this builds. Law 1, make it obvious. The core idea here is that, honestly, we often make things way too hard to even start. You've got to stop hiding your goals from yourself. If you want to trigger a habit effortlessly, the visual cues for your good habits must be glaringly visible. I'm talking completely unavoidable in your physical space. For instance, if you want to read more before bed, don't leave the book tucked away on some dusty shelf in the living room. Put it right on the center of your pillow when you make your bed in the morning. That way, you literally have to pick it up before you go to sleep. We want your environment doing the heavy lifting for your memory, just automatically prompting you to take action. Section 3, Law 2, make it attractive. Okay, so once we actually see the cue and remember what we want to do, we need to feel a real pull to do it. Humans are naturally drawn to things that reward us, right? Desire and anticipation are the actual engines driving habit formation. Therefore, we must make the habit irresistible if we want to successfully reprogram the brain. But wait, how do you actually do that when the habit, like say doing your taxes or going for a run in the freezing cold, feels like a massive chore? Well, you use this brilliant psychological trick called temptation bundling. This means you literally pair an action you need to do with an action you really want to do. So, for example, maybe you only allow yourself to watch your absolute favorite Netflix show while you're walking on the treadmill. Suddenly, working out isn't this dreaded chore anymore. It becomes a super attractive prospect because your brain ties it directly to something you genuinely crave. Moving on to Section 4, Law 3, make it easy. So the crucial point here is exactly how we handle friction in our daily lives. First off, stop relying on sheer willpower. Think of your willpower like the battery on your smartphone. It inevitably, invariably drains as the day goes on. You just can't rely on it to be at 100% at 6 p.m.
Second, break tasks down into micro steps. You want to shrink the habit down until it requires absolutely zero motivation to complete. Third, remove all environmental friction. If you want to go for a run in the morning, lay out your running shoes, your clothes, even your headphones the night before. You want to make the good behavior the path of absolute least resistance. By dramatically simplifying a task and stripping away literally all the obstacles in your way, you make it practically impossible to fail, even on your lowest energy, highly stressful days. Section 5, Law 4, Make it satisfying.
This fourth and final law, it's the absolute glue that holds your entire new habit structure together over the long haul. To really lock a habit in, you have to reward yourself immediately. The neurology behind this rule is actually totally fascinating. You see, our brains evolved to prioritize immediate rewards over delayed ones. If you eat a healthy salad today, the physical benefits might take months to show up on the scale. That's a delayed payoff. It just isn't very satisfying to your primal brain today. But if you immediately follow that healthy choice with a small, instant reward, maybe a relaxing hot shower, a really good cup of your favorite tea, or even just taking a second to explicitly check off a box on a habit tracker, you provide that instant gratification. That immediate little flash of pleasure signals your brain that this specific sequence of actions was highly beneficial. And most importantly, it tells your nervous system, hey, this behavior is absolutely worth remembering and repeating tomorrow.
Section 6, Your 2-minute habit.
All right, let's transition from theory to practical, immediate application for your life right now. And this brilliantly illustrates the core empowering message of our source material today. Your problem isn't willpower, it's your system. I really, really want you to take that away from this explainer. This is a total paradigm shift. Failing at habits is fundamentally a system design flaw. It is not a personal failure, it is not a lack of character, and it is certainly not a lack of drive. When you tweak your daily system to make your desired behaviors obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying, the habits virtually take care of themselves.
So, here is my final challenge for you as we wrap things up today. What is the 1 2-minute habit you will start today? I'm not talking about a grueling hour-long workout. I'm not talking about writing an entire chapter of a novel. Just 2 minutes. Maybe it's doing 2 minutes of stretching while your morning coffee brews, or reading just one single page of a book before you turn off the lamp at night. Apply this micro-step system immediately. Make it obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. I want you to drop down into the comments right now and share your tiny 2-minute habit with us. But I also want to leave you with this thought. If just 2 minutes a day can completely rewire your brain's operating system, what could you possibly achieve a year from now if you mastered the rest of your daily friction? Seriously, think about it. Thank you so much for learning with me today, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.